Hey, what's up, ladies and gents? Sean here with BlueRidgeSilverhound. I want to thank you guys for tuning in this morning. Kind of a physically and mentally taxing day yesterday. And part of that, of course, was the release of VaultBox, playing a huge role in how I was feeling for the rest of the day. Not because of any one individual's, I guess, comments. Everybody's allowed to feel and express what they want to about the VaultBox release. But what I wanted to do was take the opportunity to discuss how things went with me. Let you know I was able to order one of the vault boxes, and that's it. That was my budget, was one. I wasn't about to buy two. I'm not freaking made of money, so I'm not doing this as a proposed gamble to think that I'm gonna end up, in a much higher position after I open the vault box on film, which I'm going to do, by the way. It's actually already been shipped. I don't know if for the number of you out there listening right now what your status is with the shipping, but I did get notification yesterday afternoon. I think it was like 4 o'clock or somewhere around there where I got an email saying that my box had already shipped. So bravo, damn, that is quick to the team at VaultBox. Yeah, one good thing happening so far. So it was sent FedEx. So I don't know. I'll probably expect it sometime after the weekend. So we will take a look at that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, and that's to be kind of later on in the video, is that people are already trying to take advantage of some sort of arbitrage opportunity, reselling these on eBay, not even opening it, and just doing a quick flip. So we'll take a look at that. I know there were a few listings on there, and yeah, it is what it is, right? It was bound to happen. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about, we'll talk about this one after I talk about my experience, which, by the way, was less than stellar. It was very U.S. Mint-like. But you guys need to know where I sit and what my kind of mentality was since the process and when I was actually able to get an order in. But also I wanted to address comments because there are a lot of people that had favorable things to say and not so good things to say. And I even went as far because some of the stuff I feel like was very unwarranted. Like, this is a brand new company. I did an interview and there was full 100% transparency. And a lot of, there were quite a few. There was not like one or two, but there was quite a few people that expressed their displeasure in the most R-rated fashion. Hoping someone to fail, and it's like this product will never succeed because it's gambling and blah blah blah, this and that, and no chance. They did not give this company a chance for redemption, because for whatever happened in these commenters' lives to feel this way. Either that or they're bandwagoners and they are just, kind of agreeing with Joe Schmo over here who probably got burned in the sports card industry. I'm even in that boat, right? I had high hesitations and I had a lot of things going against VaultBox and what it could mean on the secondary market. And ask $595 for it, in hindsight, compared to anything else, seems like a pretty big gamble. But we're going to talk about that. So my experience was this. So much like a lot of people, I'm going to say that a lot of my viewers probably attempted to buy one of these yesterday at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I jumped onto the website, vaultbox.com. I made sure I was already signed in, kind of like what you would do if you're ordering from the U.S. Mint. And, you want to make sure you're already logged in there and all that stuff. The only thing that you couldn't do yet was preload your payment information, much like you can on the U.S. Mint website. But I think after the checkout, it allowed me to save those preferences. So that's good. So I went on 9 o'clock, and much like everybody else, I was already on the actual page of the website where normally it said out of stock, right? Where you would enter the item into your cart, and then you would go ahead and check out, right? Pretty routine. So I went and refreshed it real quick because I was trying to go from that out of stock to an actual physical, add to cart feature button. And a lot of you, I'm sure everybody, had the gateway error 505 code, which is what I had. And I think to myself, oh shit, here we go again. I was not surprised, but at the same time, it was like, man, I really didn't want to deal with it. It's like really early in the morning. I mean, 9 o'clock isn't super early for a lot of people. I was actually up at like 5:30 yesterday morning, not because I was getting ready for this, but because, my wife was getting up and getting ready for work, and, I was getting my youngest daughter ready for school and things like that. So, I'm sitting there, I'm refreshing the thing, and it's like, man, and I'm on, I have two computers. I have a really old laptop, and I have a really nicer laptop. So I was on the really nicer laptop thinking that would make a bit of difference, and it didn't. I'm sitting there, refreshing the page until that button came up, and it didn't come up for like 6-7 minutes. Actually, it didn't come up at all. By the time it reached like 6-7 minutes, believe it or not, I actually gave up. I threw my hands in the air, and I'm like talking to myself. I'm like seething, like, man, I'm not gonna be able to get this. So I'm sitting there. I'm texting some other guys on my live coin Q&A panel. And I'm like, yeah, I can't get on. I have this gateway, error code that pops up and things like that. And I told him, I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. So this is like at 9:07. So we were just kind of talking. We're like chatting on Facebook Messenger chat, like we normally do, and that's our way of communicating. Get ready for a show on Mondays and whatnot. And it got to around 9:12. I'm like, just for shits and giggles, I ended up opening up the website on my phone, and it actually popped up on there at 9:12 where I could add to cart. So I was like, huh, well, still available. I thought this thing would be sold out. And like I had told a lot of you, I thought it would sell out in like a few minutes. Okay, because there was only 800 or so available boxes to go around, and that's not a lot. All right, even at a $600 price tag. So I added it to the cart on my smartphone, and I was able to check out. But between getting from the cart screen into because on my phone I wasn't logged into my account on VaultBox, I had to log in, and then the bad gateway error came up again. I had to sit there and constantly refresh it. I had to refresh on my phone probably a good two dozen times between all of the screen changes, from entering in your information, payment info, and just having to update all that. So I seriously thought I didn't have any chance whatsoever, and I got to around minute number like 16. So it was 9:16 at this point, 16 minutes after release. And by the grace of gods, I was actually able to get a confirmed order. I have my order number on there. They're all 4-digit order numbers, by the way. I got my order number and everything cleared. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. So it was very US Mint-like. But as the morning progressed, I'm trying to kind of soak this all in as kind of a victory, I'm going to tell you this, all right? My expectation is not going to change. And what I mean by that is I've based off of the law of averages of the product and the value, I expect to come in under what I paid for it. All right. I thought, I'm like, okay, so I'm crunching numbers and all that. So if the lowest kind of black swan event type of combination of coins will net you $255 on the low end, like there's probably only one or two boxes that'll fulfill that out of the whole entire run of 800, because I think there was like 270 unique combinations from what Blake said, or maybe three. You have to be really unlucky to get that. But I figure $450 average is what it would come out to, which is not terrible. Have you guys looked at anything else where it's similar to this product, whether it's sports cards? Just pick any sports card box off the shelf. It doesn't matter what it is. The expected value rate on a box of brand new sports cards, even though the price has dropped in the last year, is right around 55%. That's horrible. All right. So for VaultBox to come in at like 75%, I think is okay. I'm not getting into it to be rich. To kind of preface what VaultBox's mission statement and the ultimate goal is with this release is to get newer people into the hobby. That's why they integrated the NGCX 10-point grading scale, which a lot of you still don't understand why it even exists, especially when you've been so used to a 70-point grading scale, and in here you're a little bit inflexible about the idea of a supplemental grading scale. And like Blake had mentioned, we're all used to a 10-point grade scale or a 100-point system where it's like more universally known through a wider range of different, not even just collectibles, but, if you're going to, grade my term paper in college, on the scale of 1 to 100, 100 would be an A plus, and then 90 would be an A minus, and then your B range is in the 80s. So it only makes sense to do things by the 10-point scale or 100. So they went with the 10-point scale. And that's more because they wanted to cater closely to the younger audience who are used to being on the sports card side of things, or to be over here in comic books, things like that. This product was never made or intended to fulfill the need of good old boy. I've been around the hobby for 10, 15, 40 years. It's either this Sheldon 70-point grading scale or it's nothing at all. This product wasn't made for that demographic. This was made for the folks of a much younger age, and that's why they elected to go with PMs, because PMs are more universally accepted as a premium medium. Someone had some guy had mentioned on one of my comments, well, what am I going to do? Get stuck with a coin that I can't even sell on eBay? Are you fucking kidding me? You can't sell a Silver Eagle to save your life on eBay? You have got to be. That's the most dumbest, stupidest comment that I've ever seen. I didn't comment, but I comment right now on this video because that's one of those kind of like head scratching, like, where did you crawl out of kind of moments. It's like, there's stupid shit like that. And those are the type of things that ultimately triggered me about this whole ordeal, is he had folks like that say stuff similar to that. You want to know what you can't sell? How about a good old McDonald's token from the 90s? Yeah? Or how about a Proust Sacagawea dollar from the early 2000s that's not graded? Good luck selling that for any amount of money. But precious metals, silver, gold, platinum, palladium. Someone even mentioned, well, all the gold is searchable. Okay, well, how about some of the other PMs like palladium and platinum that are as expensive, and as desirable? Did we happen to kind of like forget about that? All the common sense stuff all of a sudden went out the window, and they're speaking more emotionally charged than they are with facts and data and common sense and actually thinking about right from wrong, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to my sister and put makeup on her face while she's asleep. Like, it's common sense thing. You wouldn't do that. So that was kind of my big thing. And that's why I alluded to on my PCMR at the beginning. I'm like, yeah, all these trolls, a few trolls came in talking all this, And then, it's like, someone, Brian was his name on that video. So you call me a troll? I'm like, I didn't call you a troll, but did you say some of the things I said in the beginning of my PCMR to necessitate that? He didn't even respond back. Hopefully you respond back, because you need to clarify what you had said. All right. I read most comments. I don't get to all of them because I get thousands a day, but it's a shame that nobody really ever gave this company a chance. Everybody is so blind, even if you don't order it. All right. If you're not going to order, reserve your comments to yourself. But if you have no skin in the game, you're kind of not up to having that discussion to that deeper level. I am telling you, as a buyer of this product, I fully expect to lose a little bit of money based off of the law of averages. All right. And for the sake of doing a review of the product in video, because I wanted to examine the overall total quality of the product, from the plastic they use to seal it, to the paper sleeve, the cardboard sleeve that they use for the advertising of the box quality, the seals, how easy is it to peel, does it leave the transfer on there to let you know it's been tampered, and ultimately, what do the coins look like in there? It's my understanding, because heck, we all saw the PWCC video on one of the box openings, and that, ladies and gentlemen, opened up a whole new can of worms about about what people thought of VaultBox. Like, oh, they gave them a juiced up box. I'm like, they're not gonna know that, because these were all independently packaged and graded by NGC. There's no serial numbers. There's no barcode. Nobody can figure that out. And then other people, to combat that, say, well, you could weigh it. I'm like, okay, can't win for losing, right? Cannot win for losing. So let's go ahead and jump into some of these comments on this video from a few days ago. Planned insta sellout. It was close. It sold out in 24 minutes by my account. Will be a slap in the face of the U.S. Mint. And it kind of was. Well, it kind of was. Because this was a hot release. So we're going to focus more on kind of like the more recent comments. There's quite a few of them. There's 176. So we'll kind of blow through them a little bit. I'll address them, discuss B44. This was probably more 45, 50 minutes ago. Like you said, sell out. My experience, very bad. I got nothing but frustration. Will never try this again. All right. So, fair. That's fair. All right. Because I got to a point where I gave up, and just for kicks, I ended up going back in on my phone and was able to order it. And, I don't blame you if you don't want to try this again, but like Blake had mentioned, at some point in the interview video that I had done, a few days before this one, is that he expected to have website server crashes and issues when it comes to that regard. He expected an inundation of the website. And as you guys know, unless you pay many millions of dollars into the infrastructure of a website and its servers, you're not going to get that clean, integrated checkout process as if you're ordering on Amazon. Amazon has billions of dollars, ladies and gentlemen, to upkeep an infrastructure that can handle a large volume of customers, during a hot release. VaultBox.com, it's not that. All right. Keep in mind, startup, they have a limited amount of money and budget to upkeep the website. So, I don't blame you, but at the same time, that's my counterpoint to that. FlowMe 911, 6 hours ago, did a quick check on the PCWCC is what they had typed in boxing video, and they do state in the comments that the box was a promotional box. Okay, that's fine. I did hear about that, and those coins were still available to be found at the time of that video, assumably still contained in one or more of the sold out boxes. It took me less than 30 seconds to find this info. So to their credit, they were not trying to hide the fact, but more an effort to make a commercial more exciting, and that's fair enough. Because, boy, it was freaking brutal through the first two coins in that video. I did hear about that. And Blake did mention to me that they leveraged a few of their partner vendors like PWCC and Finest Known, and I think and one other, to help promote the product, and by doing a promotional box where those coins are still available to the people that do buy into them is fantastic. And the transparency, they put it in fine print, and you guys need to know that. Sadly, I was unable to pick up a Series 1 box, but look forward to trying future series, assuming they actually continue to keep the volume extremely low and quality extremely high. Even though other companies may follow suit, hopefully they use the Rolex model, a highly desired product that honestly not everyone will be able to get. But those that are able to get them will covet each piece as they appreciate in value over time. As opposed to if they take advantage of the hype and try to meet demand by extending the Series 1 or adding too many other series types too quickly, which will only serve to dilute the brand. But that's just my opinion. FlowMe 911, you're exactly right. He has some pretty big series coming up here. There's going to be a lower cost series. There's going to be similar ones. There's going to be a Series 2 Precious Metals edition, I believe, that they're going to be working on. That's going to be a little bit more comprehensive with some of the more unique stuff. So be on the lookout for that. I think it's going to happen considering the success that they had with Series 1. Byron Ross, 6 hours ago, stated, I was starting to wait for only 3 payments of. Seems you're pushing this product way too hard. Is there a free vault for you for advertising? Nope. Not trying to be negative about this video, but dang, there is no way all these buyers are going to break even. I would bet there's far more that lose money than actually gain. The US Mint is not perfect. They are human just like us. Give them a break. That's true. But in a counterpoint, so is VaultBox. They're human as well. They're actually a couple of guys with a very small staff of people. It's not like they have an office with 200 people, working this place. After all, if there wasn't errors, where would you be for video content? No one is perfect, so let's give them a break. Be very careful how much you push product. If it's a bust, you may end up losing a lot of subscribers. Okay, if it's a bust, I'll let you know. That's why I'm buying the product and going to test it out. Like I said, I had my reservations about the product. Okay, I'm not 100% hype about it, but at the same time, I'm not going to bash them for trying something new. All right, new, exciting. Apparently, it was exciting because it sold out in a flash. If you open a box, it's not like that can't be rigged, so busting a free box that shows gain only those foolish enough to believe may end up never being a collector again after they get burnt. Sorry for being so negative, but I don't see this as great as you're making it. They're a business. They're hoping to make money, stay clean, and to the point, better days ahead. No, I agree, Byron. I'm not 100% promoting it. I am 100% promoting the people that had spent a lot of money to deliver an unparalleled experience, whether you lose money or gain, because the people that gain money obviously are going to have a completely different point of view compared to the people that lose money. All right, so it's going to be kind of like this happy balance. And to that point, because there are quite a few people that did order that listened to me on my channel, I would love to hear what you end up out of your box. So it's something that I want to share on the live coin Q&A. Go ahead and send us your box results to info@livecoinqa.com. And, I'll share in mine as well as soon as I get it. OB had said VaultBox is great, but not available for outside the US. As of now, this is again a start. It's a beta test. Louis Trade said took 18 minutes and 100 bad gateways, but finally got 2. The gamble is really fun. So people with that inherent gamble complex will really enjoy this. I'm not seeing it as such. I'm seeing it as, okay, it's a starter product to get a new demographic into the hobby. Because right now it's still predominantly an old kind of audience, all right? And the old people actually ultimately had some bad things to say about VaultBox. T-Square Talk had said, I was kind of thinking rigged. What worries me is, will people just weigh the boxes? Yes, 1 ounce of gold will equal 1 ounce of silver. However, I doubt there's going to be anything in there that is a half ounce or a quarter ounce of silver or 10 ounce of silver, which means if any box comes up, even a few grams light, you can almost guarantee that box is going to have a fractional gold or platinum coin in it, especially since I don't think there's any fractional silver in the inventory. With that being said, I've still been on the fence of gambling on one just to do a package opening on my YouTube channel. So the funny thing about gambling is people see it as in coming away, gambling. I'm just going to use $500 as an example. Gambling $500 away and losing it all. All right. Gambling is like losing it all without having anything to show for it, right? We thinking about all the daily consumer items that we buy, even if they're needed or unneeded, right? Like a tube of toothpaste, you guys know we pay $4 for a tube of toothpaste that ultimately costs like 75 cents per unit item to actually make. But people don't think about the parallels in which we overpay for things every day, and then ultimately these items become consumed and then it's gone. All right. Sure. I mean, they have health, beauty benefits, things like that. But people who firmly believe that you buy one of these vault boxes, you end up spending $600 for it and end up with a big goose egg. You know, it's not something that I see as it being that, right? Again, at the minimum, again, you have to have really, really crummy luck to end up with the best kind of combination of coins to equal that $255 low value based off of the crunched numbers that a completely different person outside of VaultBox had put together. It's actually a guy on coinweek.com that crunched the numbers for that particular product. Let's see. I'm now a Bitcoin millionaire. Dude, nobody's doing Bitcoin right now, even though it's gone up. Yeah, congratulations. But yeah, that's Garbo. Numismatic. If you had any trouble landing one and want to open one for the show, let me know. I'm willing to part with one for the good of the show. Plus, I could still see what was in it. Haha. No, I appreciate it. This is something that I want to do on my own as far as obtaining the product in a wholesome, A through Z kind of process through the website. I appreciate it. If anything happens, or if anything did happen where I couldn't obtain one, then, obviously, it's just I'm going to miss out at that point. So, Tim Boss had said, colossal flop. Both my sister and I were ready and waiting for the second the sale started. Despite getting server error messages, we kept trying until my sister finally got through to the purchasing page, filled out all the required information, including CC information, hit the button to complete the sale, and whammo! Another service issue message. I got that too. Order lost. I tried for 45 minutes straight and never got through to that point. Huge disappointment. Amateur hour for sure. Okay, yeah. A lot of people got that same experience as well. Again, like I had mentioned, I quit after minute 7. I gave up and I was like, I'm not gonna do this shit. Are you kidding me? And then on a whim, I went back, 5 minutes later and ordered one. And somehow, everything just aligned perfectly where I got to that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, this is something that Blake from the company needed to know. So that way they could focus on the server and the infrastructure of the website, so that way it's more of a fluid experience. Now, the fact that it's a very limited quantity of product that's being released, it's not like there's like 10,000 of these things that they're releasing. I mean, I can only imagine how much money that would cost. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't blame you, man, for feeling disappointed. I felt disappointed for the good, better part of the first 7 minutes of this thing. I'm like, man, I'm not going to do this. So yeah, it ended up working, and I'm going to break one on video. Greg Quinn, Thrift, sold out less than 3 hours. Yes, it did. To be a little more like 24 minutes. Yeah. Crispy Mofo, one of my regulars. Thanks, man. And it was just like trying to buy a new release from the mint. Total cluster fuck. Yes, I actually like that comment, and I'm a heart it because that is absolutely right. This is not a seamless transaction at all. How long did it actually take out sellout, or did it? I had said after the server issues cleared up, sellout was in 24 minutes. Did you buy one on the site this morning? And yes, I did get one, fortunately. Um, yeah, I had to think about it for a second. Ray Rockwood had mentioned I was able to order two, and I'm not going to open either of them because if this pops off, I think these vault boxes will become collectible on their own. Yeah, it's interesting you say that. It could be. I mean, can you imagine like a year or two from now? By the time VaultBox has their next couple series, I would imagine that they would have like two more series out between now and next year. But can you imagine people looking back and hearing that some of the bigger coins never got pulled from the product? That's going to make some of the unopened product more valuable. But just like kind of like sports cards, when the biggest hits get pulled, the actual value of any remaining unsealed product actually goes down over time. And that's because they realize, well, if the big chase piece isn't there, I'm not going to invest money into it. So, yeah, good point there. Junior Duke 357. What a fail. I'm more pissed at these people than I was at the mint. Why are you pissed off at the people? They're trying. And this is the debut. This is the first time. I even asked why, and J.R. Duke didn't respond. That was a day ago. That's more along the line as in I'm not giving you a chance. I don't know you, but I'm gonna tell you you're stupid to your face even before you get your first word out, and that's not right. That's not right. I'm not a fan of those type of messages because it's like there's no thought into it. There's no common sense to it. It's like you want to go up to someone and cold clock them in the face, just because they look a certain way. James Diller. Let's see how much they are selling for on eBay in a few days. It's funny you bring that up because we will look at that here momentarily. Numismatic from a day ago. Woof, that was frustrating. No shit. All the issues everyone else is talking about, but got through for my limit of two. Think of selling one to hedge the other. I'll have to see what they're going for on the secondary market. I got great news for you on that. If you bought two and sell one, you pretty much got the one for free. Lee MR. I got my order into and received the vault box, so now I'm just waiting for the order cancellation. Now, I did message Blake afterwards to kind of like congratulate him. And he said, "Yeah, it was crazy. The servers and the all that stuff was just like exploding on his end. He did not expect it. I'll be honest with you. And who would, right? Yeah, you have a website that you built, and you put 50 grand into to get it all set up, and it's like, oh, I've done enough. Oh wait, the server. Yeah, you need to spend another $500,000 to make sure that could handle the volume. Yeah. So he did mention that there were a few attempted duplicate orders, and those are going to be kicked back, and they're going to fulfill some of the more later orders that came in. So he's already accounted for that. I mean, let me know if you did get an order cancellation. Their par level setup on the back end should have cut the ordering process at just the right point when it reaches that par level for the boxes. Donna S. said, I had set up my VaultBox account days prior, could not log in today. Bad gateway, try again later. Unfortunately, the whole website exploded. Even if you were just on the regular splash page, not on the actual buy the product page. Finally, was able to log in 12 minutes later, attempted to purchase. The price for one Series 1 box total for me showed $1,785. I think that's 3 boxes, right? Let me double check here real quick. The math. 595 times 3. Yeah. 1785. Yeah, that's for 3 boxes. Which you can't order because the max is 2. I kept trying to update my card. Bad gateway error message 2. Try again later. When I was able to finally have the cart updated, it asked me to re-sign back. Needless to say, Series 1 sold out. I took photos. Okay. Again, not that this right here. This is new to me because that. Yeah, and I had mentioned that interesting issue with the dollar amount. I had the bad gateway issues too, but ultimately got my order in at about minute 14. Scott S. Just bought a box. Took 20 minutes to get through on my phone. Kept getting bad gateways. So this is good. This gives us kind of like perspective on when the product became available, where you could actually add it to cart after this website server issues kind of mellowed out a little bit, which was right around the 10-minute mark from what I understand. And it sold out at minute like 23, 24. So at minute 20, Scott was still in the clear on that one. So it took roughly about 10, 11 minutes for the entire 800 products to sell out by the time folks were able to get their orders in. Definitely a mint product sold this morning. Couldn't get in the site. It wouldn't let me check out. I'll never try to buy from them again. Okay, you gotta give them another chance. I've been told that that they're going to make big improvements on the back end of the website, the server, and the client. So we'll see how that goes. And the future subsequent series, there's going to be more volume of them. All right, so just wait and see. I mean, this was going to be one of those things that I feel like that a lot of people that wanted it are not going to ultimately get it because of the website and everything that's incorporated into the checkout process. That was fully expected. I gave up 7-8 minutes in, and I was close to telling you guys I didn't get one. All right, and then none of you would be surprised. Sammy, in for 2. That being said, what a shit show. After 15 minutes of bad gateway errors, I was just about to throw in the towel and tried one more click. Oh, yeah. The order button showed up. Once you got to the cart, it went right through. The server must have crashed and somebody pulled the plug and rebooted it. Yeah. Congrats to all the others that got in on this. From Sam E. Thank you, Sam, for your experience. James Diller said same here. So we have 2 gentlemen here that ultimately got in their orders for the VaultBox, not without some headaches. Brian Burke, I've been trying to buy it now and it still says out of stock. I've been in since 11 a.m. and I can't buy it now. This is crap. Okay. Brian was one of the folks that felt like I called him a troll, and that's totally not the case. All right. Unless you were talking smack and, just really going off on the people that were trying to deliver this product. That's a honest comment right there from Brian. Sheila L, because I talked about the mint, government is cheap. They don't give their mailman air conditioning. Yeah, no kidding. We have those hot summer days here in California that get up into the over 110 degree range in the middle of like July and August. And I talked to my local mailman, and fortunately for where we're at, they give them an option to use their personal car, and then they just put the post office sticker on there. Ron DeSombre, bad gateway. Yep. A. Antunes, major fail on VaultBox today. I mean, you could see it as that. The server failed, right? They weren't expecting it. All right. Again, debut edition. It's not like they've been around for 20 years selling stuff. It would be a different story if they're a company that's 10, 15 years old that's been doing this and they still can't get their server issues resolved. Then something's up. Eyes high, like opening that brand new booster box. LMAO, collectors will feel like kids again. Yeah, I mean, again, it's catered to a younger audience. This thing does not even guarantee you a gold coin for $600, and the only cool factor seems to be that it comes from the graders, of which Neil Armstrong is one of them, and he is a liar and a thief. So F the stupid company. Dude, I don't even know what the hell that is. I can tell you this though: there are silver coins that are worth $1,000, $2,000. You just need to be more educationally aware, right? I mean, if I pulled that enhanced reverse 2019 S Silver Eagle, that's worth what, $8,000? I'd take it all day long. So, yeah, again, this is more of uh, Shane Corning did not attempt to order it at all. He was just mouthing off on it. This is more of a troll comment than anything else. All right. Uneducated, unguided, and it's just that's just the way he is, I guess. Tom M, did anyone else get a survey from the U.S. Mint? I haven't lately because I haven't ordered anything on there. So from here on down, it hadn't officially gone live yet. Ambient mode, it still says out of stock. It's now 9:52 in Connecticut. Yeah, it hadn't released yet at that time because that's at 6:52 on the West Coast, and this thing went live at 9 o'clock on the West Coast. David said it just sucks for some of us because they're expensive, and that leaves some or most without. It's my opinion that they're creating something that one is already worth money. They're putting it in a one-of-a-kind holder, making it worth a lot more to collectors, making it impossible for a person of my stature to get one. That's why it sucks. Run-on sentence aside, no, I get it. But it's the perfect dollar value for a debut release. If you can imagine this thing being only $100, and if you want an idea of what a $100 mystery repack box is, go to Dave Adams' Card World and take a look at their repack boxes of coins. I opened a few on my video. They're garbage. But that's what $100 gets you. $100 gets you crap. It's not going to deliver on the satisfaction and value aspect at a lower dollar value product. Now, that's going to come out later on, but that's going to be a well thought out, executed video. Whereas the Dave and Adams stuff, they assemble, they grab all these coins from Joe Schmo, from Timbuktu, and it took them only like 2 weeks to obtain, 200 coins for their release. And they're not good. I spent $80, $90 a box, and it was crap. That's crap. But for, the amount of money that they're charging for the VaultBox on Series 1, and looking at the full transparency, they have the list right on their website. You have an idea of the premium quality items that they had put in. All PMs, all stuff that's highly liquid in today's market. Like someone had said, right? I can't even sell this coin. I don't want to be stuck with a coin I can't sell on eBay. Again, if you're having issues selling one Silver Eagle on eBay, then you're doing it all wrong. That's a few comments in a nutshell. Let's go ahead and take a look at eBay. And let's go ahead and look at VaultBox completed sales. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, arbitrage. Would you rather get your VaultBox for $1,200? $1,200. Anyone? We have any takers at $1,200, right? Which is slightly above the $595 price tag. Look at this, 36 watchers. There are a lot of people watching that one. Free, best offer, free shipping. Buy it now. Have they sold any? Bingo! We have 2 that have sold. Fate had sold. Roundtable authorized dealer. Who, guess what? Deals in coins for a living. Sold their box for $1,000. Here's another one here. Jake Munsell sold one box for $1,200. Would you have rather them sell this release at $1,200 and really feel like you're not going to get jack crap out of your box because of the much higher price? So take stock. And the ultimate lesson is in that just because it's priced a certain way doesn't mean it couldn't be any more expensive. Because, case in point, there were two individuals that were willing to pay more money because they see the value in it. All right? Call them stupid, call them dumb, call them whatever you want to. But damn, that $595 price tag was looking a lot better compared to what people are already paying on the secondary market. So, I mean, obviously, if you sell yours at $1,200, guess what? You have paid for one of your boxes. Yeah, you would have a free box. So, I think that's it. I should be getting my box sometime next week, and I will promptly break it. You best believe that's what's going to happen. And whatever happens, if I come out with $255 because I have that tremendous lady luck, right? If I end up with the $255 combination of coins, then it is what it is. I'll tell you, like, man, this sucks. My wife even said, hey, enjoy it, put it on your YouTube channel, get a few views, and showcase the quality of the product rather than what's the value inside. Because what's going to happen is I'll probably end up giving like one or two of the coins away to viewers. But we also get to kind of test out what the NGCX 10-point grading scale looks like in a slab and presentation. They look neat, but it's something I have to get used to. Then we'll talk a little bit more about how those coins in that grading scale compare to ones that are in the Sheldon 70. So that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today. 46 minutes in, you get to have, most of your day back. And I'm sorry for monopolizing on almost an hour of this stuff. But that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have been fantastic. My apologies to everybody that has been emotionally charged on this. It's not easy of a conversation to have, because you have your beliefs. Maybe you got burned and something similar somewhere down the line in your life. And I can't really change your mind about it. And it's all good. We've seen the results of the sellout. Sold out in less than 25 minutes. We're seeing a few sales already. And these are products that aren't even in people's hands yet. We won't see that till next week. I think there might be even more of these on the secondary market 1 week from today than right now. But that's it. So thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry it became so rated R style and content. I know some of you do not like the curse words and things like that. But am I going to sugarcoat it and tell you like, oh, it's fine, it'll be okay? Or do you want someone that has an emotional, true to life experience over things? Especially when it comes to our hard-earned money, right? Like, that's a valid point that everybody can make. As you can tell on the comments, I don't delete shit. Those are people's opinions on things. It's their freedom of speech to talk about the product. The same way that I talk about it. And the reason why I kind of back it, because we are in desperate need of something different. If the U.S. Mint keeps feeding us the same level of blah, then it's never going to change, right? We need something to shake up the market, and that's what this is. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy your Thursday. All right, it's almost the weekend. I'll see you guys next time. So long.